For decades, we've been chasing this one big idea of what industrial perfection looks like. You know the one. Pure efficiency, flawless automation, a place where people are, well, at best, they're watching from a control room, and at worst, they're a risk that needs to be kept behind a safety cage. But what if that entire vision, that relentless chase for cold, hard efficiency, is about to get flipped completely on its head?
And you know what? We actually did it. We built the lights-out factory. It's this incredible symphony of machines, all humming along perfectly in the dark. It's a true marvel of system automation, the peak achievement of what we call Industry 4.0. It really is the pinnacle of a certain way of thinking.
And that, right there, is the huge question we're facing now. What if getting to that peak, to that perfectly isolated automated factory, was actually the end of the road, and not the start of a new one? What if we were climbing the wrong mountain the whole time?
Look, don't get me wrong, the lights-out factory is incredibly impressive, but it's also sterile. It's missing that one critical ingredient that really sparks innovation, the one thing that can handle a curveball and invent something totally new. Us. It's time to turn the lights back on. So, to really get where we're going, we've got to look at where we've been, right? Each industrial revolution just built on the last. First, we amplified our muscle power with steam. Then, we replicated processes with the assembly line. After that, we automated single tasks with early computers and robotics. And finally, we automated entire systems with connected factories. Each step kind of pushed the human a little further away from the action. Until now.
And that brings us right here to the next big leap, Industry 5.0. And I've got to tell you, this is not just another tech upgrade. We're not talking about slightly faster robots or a few more sensors. This is a complete philosophical pivot.
The core change here is huge. Industry 4.0 was all about the technology. It was chasing one thing, pure economic efficiency. Industry 5.0, on the other hand, is driven by human values. The goal isn't just about making more stuff faster. It's about societal well-being, it's about sustainability, and it's about unleashing human potential by putting people right back in the center of it all.
Okay, so this whole new way of thinking, it's built on three main ideas. First, it's human-centric. That means getting workers out from behind a safety cage and having them work with machines as true thinking partners. Second, it's sustainable. Building systems that are optimized not just for speed, but for using the least amount of energy and resources possible. And third, it's resilient. Creating systems that can see disruption coming, absorb the shock, and adapt on the fly.
And hey, this isn't just some hopeful vision. We've got the data to back it up. Research shows that when you have these advanced cyber-physical systems, AI orchestration, that's the smart system tying everything together, is the real game changer. In fact, that AI is responsible for a whopping 64% of the improvement in sustainability. It's the intelligent brain that makes these new, value-driven goals a reality.
So you might be wondering, how is any of this even possible? What's the engine driving this new era? Well, it all comes down to a level of computational power that is, and I'm not exaggerating, absolutely mind-bending. Okay, just think about this for a second, because it is wild. For a robot like Atlas to just keep its balance while walking over uneven ground, it is solving real-time optimization problems that are more computationally difficult than the math we use to put human beings on the moon. And it's doing that every single second.
Let's try to put that speed into perspective. Predicting the weather? That's a massive computational problem that takes supercomputers hours to figure out. Well, a robot navigating a new space, a process called SLAM, is an even bigger problem with thousands more variables, and it's solved in milliseconds. A bigger problem? Solved in the blink of an eye.
And if you think that's wild, the complexity just goes completely off the charts. If you try to calculate all the possible moves and interactions for a coordinated swarm of just 100 drones, you end up with a number of possibilities that is literally larger than the estimated number of atoms in the entire universe. I mean, just try to wrap your head around that. And these systems manage it in real time.
So, with that kind of crazy power, we can finally do it. We can build that human-centric pillar of Industry 5.0. This is where machines stop being just tools and they start becoming true teammates.
This means we need to totally forget the old cobat, the robot that just freezes if you bump into it. The future is the cognitive partner. This is a machine that actually understands what you're trying to do and predicts what you'll need next. Imagine a workbench that knows you're slouching and raises itself up for you, or a robotic arm that's already holding the next tool you need before you even reach for it. It's your apprentice and your guardian, all in one.
So how do you get a machine that smart? You give it a digital playground. A digital twin isn't just some 3D model. It's a living, breathing simulation of the entire factory fed by real-time data. It's the ultimate sandbox where an AI can get years' worth of training in just a few hours. It can run a million what-if scenarios to figure out the best way to do something before a single physical part ever gets made.
But, and this is a big but, we're never going to truly partner up with a black box we don't understand. For this team to work, we need trust. And that's where explainable AI, or XAI, comes in. Think of it like the robot's inner monologue. If the machine makes a choice, it has to be able to turn to you and explain why it made that choice in a way you can understand. XAI is the absolute foundation of that trust.
So what does this dream team actually look like in practice? Well, think of a perfect Formula One race team. The machine is the car itself, a masterpiece of engineering, sensing everything, reacting instantly. The AI? That's your entire pit crew and your race strategist, running millions of simulations in real time to optimize everything. But the human, you're the driver. You set the strategy, you handle the chaos of the race, and you make the final call. You need all three to win the race, period.
Okay, so this brings us to the most important question of all. What does this massive shift mean for you, for us? It means our roles are changing from just being operators to, well, something way cooler. We're becoming the architects of this new alliance.
And this creates a whole new generation of jobs, a new breed of innovator. We're going to need AI safety and XAI engineers, whose whole job is building that trust we just talked about. We'll have digital twin architects building those incredible virtual worlds, resilience engineers designing systems that are fundamentally anti-fragile, and human-robot interaction specialists, who are basically the expert translators between human psychology and machine intelligence.
So let's be absolutely crystal clear on this. This is not another "the robots are coming for your job" story. It's the exact opposite. This is a story about creating systems that finally augment our own abilities, that handle the dull, dirty, and dangerous stuff, so that we can focus on what humans do best: creativity, critical thinking, and genuine innovation.
We're standing right at this incredible intersection, this cognitive collision. The technology is here, the vision is getting clearer. So we have to stop asking the old question, how do we build a better robot? The real question, the one that's going to define everything from here on out, is this: what amazing, unbelievable, sublime new things are we going to create when our minds and the minds of our machines finally truly start working as one?